Now then, I do. It's the Airy Northern Monkey here. I'm just on my way down to Infinity Motorcycles near the H Cafe in Dorchester. I think I'm in need of a new snud, preferably one that drapes properly over the neck. So I just wanted to update you on some upcoming videos. Over the next couple of months there should be quite a bit of content coming, although not much this month, as I'm just coming towards the end of my engineering degree. But once this month's out of the way, there should be a fair bit coming. So I've got some ride outs coming up around the Cotswolds, Portsmouth area and Oxfordshire. And at the end of next month, so the end of June, my wife and I are heading up to the north of Scotland, and we're going to be spending about a week in a little place called Hara, which is about 20 miles south of the north coast of Scotland, so up near Tongue. And we're going to be using that as a central base of operations, so to speak, so we can go on ride outs around the Highlands each and every day. And there is a lot to see up there. We've been up there a number of times now, but this is going to be the first time that I will have videoed it. Yeah, so spending a week in the Highlands, riding about some of the Highland roads, not doing the North Coast 500, which is a route that everyone does, and you know, we did it the first time we went up there and it is beautiful, but there is much better up there as well. So other than the ride outs, we're probably going to have some how-tos coming up as I'm putting my ZX9R back together after an oil pump failure. So there'll be lots of videos, things like removing and installing the clutch and clutch basket, removing the oil pan, doing the exhaust, all that sort of stuff. And in addition to that, I might do some reviews as well. So maybe some kit reviews like helmets and riding gear stuff that I'm wearing or that I've worn for a long time. And if I can get any loan stuff, then that'd be great. And I might start inquiring about borrowing some bikes for reviews as well. Now, I'd like to do some new bike reviews, but more importantly than that, I would like to do some proper used bike reviews. So like on bikes that are 10 or 20 years old, so that you can get an idea of what's available for the biker on a budget. Because I think they're more real world bikes. You know, everyone does the BMW sort of S1000RR and 1250 GS Adventure and all that sort of stuff, but they're not real world bikes for most people. They're like 18 and 20,000 pound. I want to see what you can get, you know, if you're spending a couple of grand, which is I think what a lot of us generally can spend on a bike. So if that's the sort of thing that you'd be interested in watching, hit the subscribe button, drop us a like or whatever, or a dislike if you don't like it. So what's been going on other than that then? Well, the other day I replaced my front forks for progressive forks, and it's made a massive difference to the bike. Was that the first drops of rain? I think it might have been. So yeah, I swapped the forks out for progressive ones, and it's an easy job. It takes an hour, maybe an hour and a half max, if everything goes smoothly. However, the previous owner to me of this bike decided to swap out the mudguard fasteners with stainless steel ones and not grease them. Basically that meant that all 4 of the bolts holding the mudguard on were seized in place, and I tried everything I could to get them off and couldn't, so I ended up having to go out and buy some cobalt drill bits because my old ones are dulled and I don't have the equipment to sharpen them. So I bought some new cobalt drill bits and had to drill them all out and put helicoils in the holes. So all told it probably added 2 hours onto the job, you know, when you've taken into account trying to get the bolts out in all the other ways with, you know, lubricant and heat and cold and tapping and all that sort of stuff. All told about 2 hours. Now I was going to video it. I started videoing the process of swapping the forks out, thinking it'd be a nice quick job, but when I ran into the issue with the seized bolts, I basically decided to give it up as a bad job because I knew that I'd end up getting frustrated with them. So for any of you watching that wants to use stainless steel fasteners, go ahead, it's a great idea. They last a lot longer than mild steel fasteners, but please, for the love of anything you hold dear, make sure you put a bit of copper grease on there to ease the issue of getting them out next time. So basically, mild steel going into an aluminium component, it will corrode, definitely, because there's a gap in the galvanic series between aluminium and mild steel. Now when you get onto stainless steel, that gap is larger and aluminium acts as the anode, so it's the aluminium that corrodes. It all furs up in the threads of the stainless steel fastener. So even though your fastener may look great, it will actually be properly seized in there. With mild steel, because they're much closer on the galvanic series, eventually the mild steel fastener will start to corrode as well. So you get some indication that it might be seized, but not with a stainless steel. I should probably do a video on using helicoils because they properly save your bacon. And you're being slow, so I'll go. I love this stretch at river, it's gorgeous. Good grief, that's loud. So the bike rides a lot better now with the fork springs changed. There's no diving under braking. Also brakes a lot better because at the same time I did the brake pads all round. But yeah, so it handles a lot better, it's a lot safer when stopping and that sort of thing. The one issue that I did have is that it raised the ride height by a little bit because the springs are much stiffer. So I've had to drop the forks through the top yoke by about 10mm. And the other issue is that even with that, it's still a little bit high, and because it doesn't compress as easily, coming to a stop has to be planned a little bit more, because I am an absolute short arse. 5'7" in my bare feet, 5'8" in my boots. And this is quite a tall bike. Brilliant fun though, and well worth it.